Although sometimes some people need to be cussed out. I had a breakdown like back in the last year.
People are taking the absolute piss. Like the proverbial.
Like on your chest.
What tea? I ain't got no tea. Shut up. That's what they said. Freaking serious. Come out my face, man.
Finally,
we're here. We made it.
we did make it.
We actually made it.
After what, a year of chatting?
Has
We
it
got to
been
do
a
this.
year,
We got to collab. We got to do this. I think so.
To be fair, that conversation, yeah. But we did start some stuff.
We did, but the podcast. I don't know what came first. Did we want to work together beforehand, and then the podcast just came from that, or did we talk about the podcast first and then?
No, I think off the back of that panel that I saw you talking at, the creative panel, there was the need and the frustration from people not collaborating or saying that they want to but not actually taking the action steps. So then I think we talked about gig guide and just a plethora of ideas.
Plethora, that's a great word.
And gala dinners and all sorts of stuff. And then a couple of things we did put into action, and then life happens.
As it does.
Collaborations came and went, and then
as they do.
Here we are. New year, next quarter.
I know.
And now we're doing this, which
finally
has been like in the pipeline for so long, but we've brainstormed, we've had an overlap of ideas, and I'm excited.
Me too. You know what the funny thing is, we've brainstormed, but we're still at this point where it's like, what should we call it? Even though we've had like a month of brainstorming. I agree with what you said before, in terms of the Can We Talk platform. I think is something that had started, but I think maybe in like a new revamped form could be something even better.
Absolutely. I think you did a brilliant thing there. So for context, we're going to dig a little bit deeper later. But Mon had a concept called Can We Talk back around the COVID times, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely COVID times.
And it was, for me, a great space where I feel like you pulled people from the culture to talk about the challenging situations at that time and the things that we were facing as a culture, as a community. And it was good. We needed more of that. So fast forward to now, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. I think that's a brilliant name. But I always tell you this anyway, I think you have really good names and concepts and activations that you create. So lot of the names and suggestions you've made, I'm like, you know what, that actually really works.
But you know where that comes out from? You know where that comes from?
Where?
Just laziness.
What do you mean?
It's literally so in every other part of my life, I'm overthinking, as everybody does. I think I literally just posted something about overthinking, but it just comes from like, like I don't like to think too much, and I think other people don't really like to think that much either. So what is just going to be easy and like as less syllables as possible, and just like it does exactly as it says on the tin. So that's how See You Friday came about.
Wow.
I was literally, in fact, I was about to get on a plane.
What?
So this venue, Bungalow back at the time, like a few weeks before, they reached out to me and said, listen, we've got this venue, Bungalow, have you heard about it? No. We want to do some events, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, we've got a Friday night. So I was like, okay, could do a Friday night. Okay, great. So we kind of went through the whole thing, whatever. They were like, right, so do you want to do it or not? I'm like, I'll come back to you. And I procrastinated, and it took me weeks. I was procrastinating. I was just like, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? And I was doing some other stuff at the time as well. And then I think it was like I was getting ready to fly, and I'd kind of forgotten about it a little bit. I have a little bit of a habit of that. Like, we'll have a chat, and I'll
outside,
just
out
like,
of mind,
just back burner.
Yeah.
So I get this call, and this guy's like, Mon. I'm like, yo, are we gonna do what we do? Are we gonna do it? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, cool, like we're trying to get the contract done. Like, what's the name? I'm like, See You Friday. Friday. No, originally it was Friday. Every Friday. Because just simple. When is the event? It's on Friday. Is it on Saturday? No, it's on Friday. Yeah. So when do you do it? Every Friday.
And you know those questions come. Sometimes you just think people cannot be asked. They do ask about the simplest, most obvious things. So every Friday, that's nice. I like that.
Yep. And then Can We Talk? Because what we're doing,
Can we talk?
We're talking.
And often, like that day when I saw you from the panel, I was passionate that day because there were some things that were talked about and said. And I was like, listen, out of everybody on the panel, who most of which I think I knew, you resonated with me so much about similar, problems and solutions that you thought could easily be implied. Yeah. So, just coming off the stage and coming down and talk to you, I was like, can we talk? Can we have a conversation? Because I was with you literally practically on that stage saying yes. Yeah. So it's birthed it here. And that's why I actually think it should be called Can We Talk? But what other suggestions and simple names have you thought? No, it's Can We Talk?
I told you, I don't like to think not too much thinking.
So Can We Talk? In fact, this is... I'm not even going to give you...
It's a pilot, guys. This is a pilot. This is a
test. It is, but so far it's going great.
We think so.
This is such a vibe. And anyway, people need to know who you are because you are big in the game out here. Been here a long time.
Everyone knows.
And with these events, See You Friday, or every Friday, See You Friday, and now Can We Talk? We want to know who is...
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. We all know.
But there's a lot of people who are just new to the space, new to this Dubai area, new to the culture. What can they expect?
I am your local party good time dealer. That's me.
I like that. It's just simple and straight to the point.
I'm no one. I'm on. Yeah. I like events. I like sneakers.
A lot of sneakers.
Maybe a bit too many.
No, but you have some really cool, eclectic ones I don't really shop for sneakers that often, but... Sorry, when did we start calling them sneakers though? Are they really sneakers?
Okay, so we've been, what is it? Dubai, whatever. Because, it has a very American undertone here. And it's like, they're trainers, actually, you're right, they're trainers.
Without further ado, my name's Kai. I am a creative entrepreneur out here in Dubai for 8 years now. I'm the founder of Black Girl in Dubai, a community hub and platform that connects people to the Black and African culture, community, and over 100 businesses out here. So if you're moving here or if you live here, you want to know what's happening and really what's going on in these streets, we're the two people that you really need to know and stay connected with to get involved.
We think we are the two people, but you may have different, but
You may well have different people, but I'm just saying it's a good place to start. It's a good place to come back to.
100%.
We're like home cooked food,
100%.
It's true. Good vibes.
Yeah, we should call it that. Home
cooked food. Feel good, just nourishes the soul.
Oh, I like that.
Innit? So anyway, the names are going to keep coming and we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So feel free to share on that.
So I've got a question.
Tell me.
How are you?
I am really...
I don't want a camera answer.
Good.
To get anyone's here. It's just me and you.
How am I?
How are you?
Top level, I'm really good. I'm really good.
Get into it.
Really blessed. As I said, been in Dubai 8 years now and it goes really fast. So I think I was saying to you and Nathan just yesterday that...
Nathaniel, he hates it.
Sorry, Nathaniel. I feel like I've lived like 2 or 3 lives in Dubai because when I first got here, I was doing music as a singer and leading bands. And then I moved into events and hosting. And now I am, I suppose, community leader. And so evolving through those different timelines and before COVID, after COVID and stuff. And then just Dubai is busy. It's a busy city. It's a lot of hustle and bustle and really great things going on. But I don't always think there's time to have a break unless you give yourself that break deliberately. So I'm really blessed to know a lot of people. In fact, I bumped into someone earlier that we didn't realize we'd already met and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a good place and space. There's loads of things happening, new people coming all the time. Underneath that though, I do feel quite tired quite often. Okay. And I do have breaks, but the kind of breaks I've been having and obviously going to bed early, because I go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock, guys. I'm an early bird. Nice. You know what? I can't function late. I can't I used to.
Yeah. You
But-
don't need to. Why? Why
Yeah.
are we on the phone at 10 o'clock? Like,
Yeah.
doing what? I'm talking
Who
to
is calling?
Who?
I've got do not disturb them from 9 till 9.
I see. I set mine from what time? 10:30 or 11.
That's really good though. Still.
Yeah, but why am I going to bed at 5?
Why are you going to bed at 5?
We'll
What
get
do you
into
do?
it. Listen, we'll get into it. But
So for me, I do go to bed early.
Yeah.
Just equally, I wake up early. So sometimes 5, 6, 7, I'm wide awake doing something or going through my meditation, etc. But I think I need longer breaks. I need to switch off and switch out to a different environment.
Yeah.
And I do get to do that when I go home to London, UK, you know, do a lot of visits and stuff. But most of the time that's family and friends, which is amazing because that is another re-energizing trip.
Yeah.
But London also is quite a busy hustle bustle space as well, so I'm not always switching off when I go back to London either. I do get out of London a bit, and also I've visited other areas. Even here in the UAE, I've visited other Emirates and done little mini staycations, but they never seem to be long enough.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, that's the honest thing. But I just try to come back to a place of gratitude because I do know I've got a lot of great opportunities, building the team, building projects, curating stuff for clients. And I just try to stay more in that space. Otherwise you're just in the complain frequency all the time, and then that's not great. You're just cussing out everyone's clerk.
Although sometimes some people need to be cussed out.
They need to be cussed out like yesterday, and sometimes we're just holding back. But thank you for asking.
Yeah.
That was quite a more detailed answer than I would normally give.
That's good. No, but the thing is, like, who was I speaking to? I think today or just yesterday. Like, it's so easy to just kind of like, oh, you're right, you're good, you're fine. And like, we see social media, and people say this all the time. You see social media, and you're doing good, you must be fine, everything's fine. Nah, mate, I had a breakdown back end of last year. I you know, some very dark thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's I feel like for me now, when I'm asking people like, how are you? Like, I genuinely want to know, like, how are you? Like, actually, how you doing? Because I, from experience, know how easy it is to like mask everything.
Yes.
And hear like the distractions and everything else. And sometimes you feel like you have to be good. You cannot show weakness. You cannot show like, you know, that you're not doing well, or you can't show that you're upset, or that you're, you know, sad or depressed, or, you know, whatever. But
I feel like whenever I've seen you, and obviously we've spoken more and more over the last year, and you know, done a few ideas and collaborations and stuff, you seem to have a very chilled, nonchalant, but also sweet, we were just talking about this off camera, like a sweet tone with your voice and stuff. I'm sure there are stressful times and challenges throughout that, but you seem from the outside to have quite a calm demeanor, and that doesn't always mean that everything's, you know, perfect on the other side. But you kind of strike me as someone who processes things slowly or slower or in chunks.
100% that. Like I do, like, I am quite a calm person, but the processing element, I think you're right, it takes me sometimes a little bit longer because I'm just overthinking, and I spiral a bit. Like, I go into like a little Scorpio spiral, down in the fucking sand or whatever the fuck, wherever Scorpios go. And so like, I know I have that kind of part of me that kind of makes maybe my decision making a little bit slower than maybe I would like. But I have to say, like, I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I felt like back end of last year. And I feel like I've kind of had a bit of a shift as well in terms of like how I've positioned myself. I think previously I was very much like, and I think I'm very much like that. I never want to let anybody down. I think nobody, like, we don't really want to let people down.
Sure.
But I think like maybe I feel like I maybe took it to like for me personally, and no one forced me, but maybe I took it to a different level that then became very like heavy and stressful on me.
Would you identify as a people pleaser?
I think in the past I have been like 100%. Like, again, I don't want to let, if I say I'm going to do something, I don't want to ever like have anyone think like, oh no, Mon's not, like, you know. And I think here as well, when like you're trying to do so much and like there are so many opportunities to kind of like to take, like, you know, I want to try and do everything, or I wanted to try and do everything, but that just wasn't good for me. And I feel like now, you know, I recently set up my agency. And I keep saying this, I set up an agency. Not like I haven't done this before, it's just a different form. It's just a different name, and a slight shift. But like, I've been able to kind of like have more time for myself. I've been, you know, eating and sleeping and working out. I feel like I'm in a really good shape. I look really good under my clothes. And I'm wall climbing, and like I have time for things I actually want to do.
Yeah.
You know? Like
you're doing more of the things that you love.
Yeah, but being very selective and being a lot more selective. Whereas before, I think I was just trying to do lots of things. I didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
Now, like if I miss something, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm a former people pleaser as well, so I can confess that here.
People pleaser, anonymous.
Do you know what I mean? We should start a little group. And I think it's probably from childhood and things like that, but exactly as you said, you don't want to let people down, and you kind of, I wouldn't say want to consciously have validation from other people, but for me, it was more so, if people like something, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
If they don't like something, then you can probably tell by their body language, or you know them not saying it.
Yeah.
My love language is words of affirmation. So when people are saying things, good or bad, that's what I would take and digest.
Yeah.
But then, you know, fast forward to now, I think moving to Dubai, I have grown so much and understood myself a lot more.
Yeah.
And a lot of that external noise, because sometimes it is positive, other times it's negative, is not necessarily required, because I've got more of my own internal dialogue that's positive going on, as opposed to waiting to hear if this person liked or disliked something before moving forward. So yeah, I mean, there's still a little bit of a element to it. Of course, we always want to, you know, make sure clients are happy, make sure friends and family are happy and stuff 100%. Like that. But the element of it for me, the era that I'm in now, is very much more, I need to make sure I'm happy. Like, my feelings need to come first. Previously, it was very much, you know, I don't want to upset that person. 100%. I don't want to, how do I say this professionally, whatever. Especially even when people are taking the absolute piss. Like the proverbial.
Like on your chest.
Listen, let me tell you, the number of people that really, up until this point, I've been 8 years in Dubai, they should have been cussed out royally, and they weren't. Because I was conscious. I'm thinking, what are they going to think of me as a female, as a black female, as a black female from UK? Because depending on who you're speaking to out here, there are different nuances. Like, oh, you're British.
Right.
Oh, you're Jamaican.
Right.
Oh, you know, you're you know, whatever it is, fill in the blank. And it's then that person's already got a perception of what they think British women who are black, who are from the Caribbean, think like, speak like, talk like. Right. Sometimes it's great, you know, if they want to, you know, say Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, blah, 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 fantastic. Yeah. But if it's a negative connotation and then you want to cuss them out on top of that, do you want to double down on that negative stereotype? But sometimes it's absolutely needed. Now I won't be overthinking anything at all, because I will be telling some people about themselves. Hey. I'm just in that space now because I don't have time. Not just me, but we as humans, we don't have time. We've got a finite amount of time on this earth. That's kind of where my mind is these days. And we just need to get stuff done. Just come correctly, do 100%. It with love, care, don't mess people about, don't manipulate, etc. And that's not to say I'm perfect. I just mean go out with good intentions.
Do you think it's different here in Dubai? Like, I always feel like Dubai is a completely different, it's another world. It's like you step through some sort of portal at the airport. Because half the stuff people get away with here, they would be badded up back. Like, there's no way.
Absolutely.
And the way people move and maneuver, whether it's friendships, whether it's like whatever business, like but I feel like we've been desensitized to it now. Like,
well, absolutely. So the beautiful thing for those of you who are watching and don't already or listening and don't already live in the UAE, is Dubai's a very safe place and country to be in. Or should I say the UAE, correction. So yeah, coming to Dubai, there's a lot of hype around it that people have heard of, seen on TV, and there's this expectation. So on the one hand, that's good, and it's fantastic actually for the image and the perception and the actual reality when you get here, because it is very, very safe. In saying that though, I think, of course, you have to be careful of the things that you say and the things that you do, just to respect the laws, if I'm honest with you, and to respect other cultures. There's so many other nationalities and just traditions and cultures all mixed into one big melting pot. Yeah. So I feel like here, more than ever, compared to, like, I'm from West London, so compared to back home, you don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize your residency. Right. You don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize your visa status or just not representing yourself well in a new space, because we've all come here for some kind of opportunity, whether it's business, whether it's a better space for, you know, friends, family, whatever. You know, I don't have children, but I know a lot of people come here with family, and it's a big move. So you don't want to now have any kind of confrontation or drama or fighting or anything that's gonna put you back on a plane.
I hear that. But what I'm saying is, I feel like people they get away, or they move. So hang on, are you talking about like people who are just moving mad here, or people on the other end of it who just have to kind of bite their tongue and be like,
A bit of both, because I'm not a violent person. So if I was back in the UK, I wouldn't be throwing hands.
Sure,
either.
Of course.
But I would definitely say something. Like if I was in public on a train and someone was being rude, or just out in the street, like you're a bit more familiar of your surroundings. You've been there. Yeah. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Like when you're back home, no matter where I am, I don't feel fearful of anywhere that I am. I'm very vocal, and I'm not fearful in the UAE either. But I just more so mean there's a different level of, I think, discipline and maybe respect that you have when you're, well, for me, when you're abroad. And I guess this is if I was going to go to any country, really. When you're not in your home country, you have to just be aware that there are different rules, there's different regulations, there's different environments. So I think for the people who are just holding their tongues back, it's also just, I mean, for me here, it's language barriers sometimes, because we're not all speaking the same language. Yeah, and it's the English understanding is very context can be sometimes misunderstood.
That's true. That was a very diplomatic answer.
It was true. It's true though.
I was trying to pull out she gave me a very diplomatic answer. That's true.
It could be Arabic.
It's a pilot.
It could be French. It could be anything. You don't know what people are going to be.
I'll get the tea from her. Don't worry.
What tea? I ain't got no tea. Literally tea will be off camera. Every time. Side note, just to let you know that one's always like, so who was it? What's the names?
Yeah. All the names. I will not listen. Your secrets will always be safe with me. I will never, ever. But also, I need to know also, because because like the other day you were telling me, I'm like, oh really? That's how, because loyalty is important for me.
Loyalty is definitely
a bit crazy with someone that I really care about and love. Straight up, 100%. Absolutely. I know how to now. I will act accordingly.
Very true. You know what? That's the thing. Back home, there's so much things as expats that we have to navigate, right? Right. Because I think back home, that's kind of like a default response. But out when you move to a whole nother space, I don't think you find a lot of people like yourself that are ready to listen, who are ready to help, who are just genuine, cool, creative people. And then on top of that, are loyal. Because I feel like the UAE can be very transient.
It is, not even can be. It is super transient.
Well, on the one hand, like you got people like you, 16 years and some. I know some people who've been out here 20, 25, 30 years. True. Born here, born and raised. That's quite rare if you do come across some people that are born and raised here, but they exist. Meanwhile, you know, I was about to say Jack and Joe. Just landed yesterday, do you know what I mean? I don't know why. It could have been anyone, but...
I would say Johnny and Tom.
Anyway, point is, there's a lot of people moving over, starting their businesses, moving their families. Why are we laughing?
She's always the most blandest of names. Sorry if any Johnnies or Toms are watching.
It was,
Names are
yeah,
lovely,
I
but-
paused because I was like, what name do I say? Pick a name.
Yeah.
So what is new this year? I know last year you had your brand, Those Guys, and this year it is about your agency that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit
I
more.
like
about
that we're interviewing each other. This is very nice. Again, this is a pilot, guys, so it will just bear with us, please. Just bear with us.
It's evolving.
It's evolving. Yeah. So this year is very much about self, and this year is very much about experiences and doing more of the things that I love. Being creative, because I'm a very creative person. But I feel like for the last maybe year, I haven't really so many other things have been happening that it just my creativity just hasn't, not that it hasn't been there, it's been on the back burner,
Right.
100%. So
Right.
I haven't been able to indulge in it. So this year is very much about doing that. So the agency I set up back end of last year, and the focus is basically on hospitality, leisure, and entertainment. So all those things I used to do as a promoter, I'm now harnessing them like the last Airbender when he does that thing into like the ball, yeah, or Power Ranger, and so now that's something that I now provide as a service to people or companies who don't necessarily know how to do what we do as promoters. And so that's normally your venues, your hotels, who have maybe a bit more of like a corporate focus, which I get it, bottom lines and all of that. But like, I think a lot of these spaces, they overlook the importance of community. And community is a really big thing. And especially a big like topic this year and going forward. Like I see a lot more brands are shifting to less of like a salesy, come and buy this drink, to more of a, oh, come and enjoy the space. Like, what other value can we give to you? So I think being an ex-promoter, it's easier for me to kind of like give them the blueprint as to how to do that, rather than them figuring it out, limiting like their trial and error. Sounds like a very professional answer. I don't know.
I was gonna say, you said ex-promoter, and I'm like, oh, have you just taken that hat off completely? You just dash it.
Look, I think there'll still be some things that I do. I mean, See You Friday is my absolute baby,
right?
And I'm already planning that.
Isn't that so interesting? How you just told the story. I've never heard that before, but you just told us how it came about, and now it's like your baby, your number one.
Yeah, it is absolutely. There were other brands that I've been involved in, Afrocentric, which is something that I did with somebody else, and they left. Then I took it to Pure Sky Lounge and turned it into something different. Not quite different, but like upgraded the brand basically. And that went on for years at the same venue. So,
even did you do Abu Dhabi as well?
Yeah, I did Abu Dhabi as well, for a few of those events, Afrocentric there. And then it also went to LA, went to London.
Nice.
So that was cool. But then, so See You Friday is like, for me, like community has always been like at the forefront of all the events that I did, to be honest. It's always been about the people, party for the people, music for the people, all of that. And especially like people that look like you and I, like, the reason why I took Afrocentric to, it's going back now, but the reason why I took it to Pure Sky Lounge is because a lot of those kind of parties, the Afro House sound was always down in like Dira and Bird and that those areas are great. Like there's so much like rich different cultures there and like nice demographics, very nice. But why can't we be overlooking the palm on the rooftop in a beautiful, new part of Dubai? Why do we have to be hidden down some back alley in some random hotel we've never heard of? Like, so that was the main aim of taking Afrocentric to a spot like that, and it worked. It worked so well. Like some of my best friends I met at Afrocentric. I went to a couple of weddings with people that I've met.
No way.
Yeah. So I love doing that. I know that I do it very well. So then with See You Friday, that's something that I really wanted to do also. And for See You Friday, I wanted it to be a space that was accommodating and welcoming for like a nice diverse audience. So a nice safe space for women where women can feel comfortable.
Right.
Black women where they feel like it's a safe space for them. The queer community as well, being a member of it. So like I want a space that, you know, people that I love and care about can enjoy. And for me, like there are a couple of and no weird guys. If she says no guys, she means no. Like please go and enjoy your night. So like for me, these are three really key factors of success for any event that I want to be involved in or that I am involved in. Of course, money, revenue, absolutely. But they're the main three ones, because if you get all those three, as far as I'm concerned, if you get all those three right, everything else just makes sense.
Of course.
Everything else just follows.
Of course.
So I feel like I went on a bit of a tangent here.
No, but it's so interesting that you say that, because as you were talking, I was thinking about a couple of things. So first and foremost, I don't know what year those was, but when I first moved to Dubai, I was doing music. So I had a lot of nightlife gigs that I was booked at, and when I wasn't working, I was rehearsing or just staying home learning songs and stuff like that, staying in touch with like friends and family. I was not out to make friends, I wasn't out to party. The odd brunch a couple times a month, that was it. So when you were talking, I was like, wow, this is a part of Dubai that I don't know. This wasn't my time or my era. And I've heard a lot about, you know, when everything used to be down in the sort of older side of Dubai, nearer to the airport and stuff like that. And of course, Dubai's built out now, right? And it's still building out. So if you're coming here now and you're seeing it all looking big and glossy and everything, it wasn't still like developing, but it wasn't like that.
This wasn't even here.
Right. So, you know, seeing and hearing the evolution is beautiful. And then just exactly as you said, you know, there's certain things that certain people think only work in certain spaces, but until you move them and you're bold enough to put them in another
100%.
location, fast forward to where we are now with a plethora of events and brunches that are done by, you know, Black promoters, whether they are from the Caribbean, whether they're from Africa, whether they're from UK, US. There's a lot of things happening now in the city, in the nice glossier parts where we are overlooking the Palm, or, you know, the Burj Khalifa, or any of these beautiful, you know, skyscrapers. And I didn't even think about the times when that wasn't a thing. So you've seen it all and been part of that evolution.
100%.
That's amazing. I've actually come to one or two of your parties back in the day. I don't know why, and if this was actually a name. I think I said this to you before, but it was like, I feel like the 44 or something, or...
what was the name of that party?
Was that a thing?
Yeah, I did it. So I did it with a friend of mine, Diddy Brown. What was the name of that? I cannot remember the name.
I think
of
it was at
party.
Carlton.
It was 46 or something, because it was on the 40. See, I told you, lazy ass. It was on the 40-something floor, and we're like, oh, what should we call it? 46. Or whatever the name of the floor is, we just call it
I think it was 44. I don't know, that's just stuck at me, but it was such a good vibes party. I really enjoyed that, because I don't do nightlife that often for a few reasons.
Forgot about that.
When I'm up past 9 o'clock. But that was a really feel-good space, like not pretentious. Not that I feel like a lot of things out here are pretentious, but again, coming from London, Mayfair City kind of nightlife many years ago, we had that space of, you've got to wear shoes like this, you've got to wear dresses
Dubai was
like
very much like that though. Girls had to wear heels, they had to look a certain way. Okay, guys still can't wear flip-flops in the majority of places, but like, especially girls, it was very tough on girls. I remember I went to, I think it was a W Hotel on Sheikh Zayed Road, and I can't remember what club was in there. There was a big club in there. I'm not sure it's still in there. And you see me, right? Like, you see me. You know how I, right?
Comfy.
You know how I dress. So I was there with I think my sister was here at the time, and a couple other girls, or maybe a girl like whatever, and got to the door. The girls were dressed nicely. They went in, of course. Then it got to me. I was like, "You have to wear heels." I'm like,
"Shut up!
You're joking? Like, come on, really? Come on, come on."
That's what they bad.
And I look good, like I think I look good. I looked fine. I looked good. I wasn't wearing sports pants, so like I looked alright.
But you just weren't in heels, obviously.
Obviously, because mate, I don't have heels to match what I'm wearing. First of all, and there was a back and forth. Anyway, it ended up not being let in.
I'm so sorry about that.
Listen, it's fine. I probably didn't want to go to that
I
club
don't
anyway.
know that side, because I wasn't here during that era. I think now there's so many different types of events that you can go to.
Yeah, 100%.
The dress up, the dress down, if you've been to a beach. I mean, quite a few of these places, if they're near a beach area, they will allow beachwear. But if you're not, then it's like, okay, no beachwear allowed. Obviously dress appropriately, no flip-flops, 100%. No shorts, etc. But I don't think I've really
Dubai was wild.
Really?
Yeah.
So it has definitely changed and evolved.
Thank the Lord.
I mean, personally, when I go out, I'm mostly in heels anyway. I'm like 5'1" at best. Okay. So I but I like the extra height when I can be bothered. Yeah. Recently, I've been doing a lot more flats though. So flip-flops, sliders, trainers, anything that's just
comfy. We just try to be comfy.
Yeah. Well, I had a knee injury as well that also attributed. So it was just like, let's just relax. And I do like the flat shoes for the most part. But yeah, I feel like certain places that I'm going, I'm the smallest and I feel like I look like I'm 12. So if I put the heels on, then I get the height and I get a bit more of a, the figure is accentuated as opposed to me looking like, So for those of you listening, I just like slumped a little bit in my chair. Because when I'm just in flats and if I'm not like slicked with the heels, then it does feel like, I do get it though. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, today I've got my glasses and stuff like that on, but if I'm dressed a certain way, like if my hair's back, then I definitely, anyway. So that's the heels, no, it's a great thing. But not when I'm like yourself, I'm trying to get into somewhere and they're asking me, can you prove ID? I'm like, you freaking serious? Come out my face, man. So there's so much variety now, whether you want to do the ton up, loud party brunches, whether you want to do the chill out, beachside stuff, if you want to do something in between, if you want to go to sophisticated things, the corporate things, the pop things. There's something somewhere for everyone. Yeah. So that's really, really good. You've been part of that evolution, man. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a very long time.
And now here we are.
Well,
I'm looking forward to this because I do think there are many things that we can do with this space and this flowing conversation between us. We know
we have a whole list, guys.
So many cool people, and we want to discuss life in Dubai. We want to discuss corporate. We want to discuss creative, music life, dating life.
Also have fun with it. I feel like with this podcast, I feel like there's so much of the corporate stuff. And don't get me wrong, for sure, that's super good. But I feel like this just needs to be like, I don't know. Just needs to just flow into whatever it is. If we need to cuss people out on air, we'll cuss them out. If we want to like big up, we'll big them up. If we want to tell you about the best places, I went to this place the other day, like we'll tell you about it. Like, just if we know a bit of tea that we think you should know, like.
You really like looking for this tea, right?
I don't need to look. I already know. I have.
I know. It's there.
But I will never. Secrets will die with me.
Thank you. If you liked this and you want to see more, then you know what to do. Like it, share it with a friend, comment, give us some feedback. We'd love to know.
Isn't that the whole thing you've been on YouTube? What is it on YouTube? Subscribe wherever it is. You can see it. I don't know if it's here or...
No, that's the bell.
Is that the bell?
The
okay.
Up top somewhere.
So hit the bell.
Hit the bell
for the notifications. Subscribe. Here. Okay. And...
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. And send your questions in.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for staying with us.
Bye.